Slides are easy. It's it's become this like actual hot button subject over the years, and for no other reason. It's probably innocuous. It's just a bullet point that consultants have that they can easily identify and hit and look like they did something. And there's no shame in that game. Whatever, I get it. But it's now manifested itself into people with far less experience teaching and cleaning, stating it as if it were a stone tablet. And it's slides are a minimum basic skill in marching band. It's the second phrase you learn ever. Are they difficult? They can be, but it's not because it's inherent. It's because other things around it that are defined way too tightly. And it takes a long time to figure that out. I mean, but you have to listen to people that can actually clean them. If you're talking about shoulders, you've already failed. You don't understand where the whole thing starts. It's a bottom up thing. It's super easy, and there's a couple things quickly. And you cannot be a slave to the parallel footpath on a slide. It's so easy. When you're sliding whatever direction, doesn't matter. Boom. The foot that's towards the front of the audience, just allow it to tweak out 45 degrees. No big deal. That's it. When you do that, then the hips open up. Can't open the hips. Open the foot a little bit. Boom. My hips are almost completely flat. Now all I have to do is get my ribs around a little bit, and then everything above it is completely flat to the front. I stole this from watching Blue Devils in a pre-show warm-up in 2000 while I was teaching Crossman. They were doing the Tetris, whatever that is, forward 8, slide 8, forward 8, slide 8, and they were swapping forward and backward slides. It didn't matter. And my colleague and I were watching, I think it was Gary Kazakria, we were both like, hey, look at the front foot. And it was like, huh. It was like, holy, like this isn't the uniform flat to the front. This is they're like from their belly up, completely flat to the front with ease. So that's to do it for 8 counts. The other part of it is it doesn't really occur long enough to be a concern. If you can get it looking decent and kids sounding okay in an 8 count phrase and a figure 8 block, that's about as long. That's longer than they're going to encounter it, unless it's a full blown we're marching through each other lateral effect and 6-2 and even you're playing loud during that, or you're not playing at all. So either way, you can kind of mitigate that. But if you get the front foot open like that, and work on getting the hips around as much as possible to maintain whatever technique you have. If you have straight legs, or if you're doing the overly straight leg Frankenstein thing, or you're stepping in and out of 5-gallon buckets, whatever your technique is, open up that hip and you're golden. It's so much easier, and you shouldn't ever even, if you can focus on that and then the hips and maybe the bottom of the rib cage a little bit, you should never you should never have to correct anything above it, because it should all already be there. That's all you have to do. It is not deep. And again, I reiterate the second part. The when it's encountered is so minimal that the juice is not worth the squeeze on telling your designers it's not possible, or wanting a rewrite because there's a slide for 4 counts. The other thing is, if you angle into the 50, it really doesn't matter. Now you're only talking about maybe 3.5 feet on either side of the 50 where it matters. You might have to, you'll have to like flip over you have to switch from forward to backward in the middle of a phrase. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, if that's crashing and burning your ensemble visually, you have a lot bigger problems than slides. And I know some people think that they're like, it's like, oh well, and I've heard very prolific, prolifically successful, however the hell you word it, drill writers will just they'll never directly slide. They'll throw it 1 or 2 steps forward on like a 16 count phrase. And it's like, that's a sugar pill. And it's funny because it works. Like, I don't think people really understand how easy it is. And it's if you're just hell bent on parallel feet, then okay, whatever. Like, I don't know what to tell you. If you can drop that open, no one's going to notice. No one judging is going to notice. And if it's unison, then no one can say anything. No one can complain about it. No one can, it's like, oh, everybody does it. It's the technique. And you don't look like a duck. It doesn't look stupid. No one's even going to notice. All they're going to be thinking is, wow, they sound good. And they'll obviously look good. Anyway, I'm just trying to head it off at the pass before writing season really gets kicking for everybody. Just one of those, like, calm down. Slides are easy. And reach out to people with, loads of experience if you need help on how to clean them or teach them. That's all.